Hey, C-Max here. We're going to do a review on a rifle my father bought me for Christmas. Well over probably 35 years ago. This is a Browning SA-22. SA stands for Semi-Auto 22. Um, it's a short, compact, bottom eject. It's got a magazine that goes through the stock. This is a John Browning design. Uh, They first produced this in 1914, so it's been in production for over 100 years. They've got over 500,000 of them produced. According to some of the stuff I read, this was one of John Browning's favorites. And there's actually a picture of him holding it. It's got a little bit different foregrip on it, and the access for the bullet feeder is up higher on the stock, but it is the same weapon. Here's the picture. Um, This gun retails right now this is grade one. They've got fancier ones with gold inlay on the bottom of the trigger guard and, in the side here. It retails for about $700. I saw them $539, I think, plus tax and all the other stuff. So, it's a $550, $600 22. It is a takedown. She'll break apart right here. We'll get into that in a little while. This gun has been shot a lot. I have killed hundreds of squirrels with this gun. It's got some impact here. It's got a dent right here in the stock, and we're going to try to take that out. I'm going to show you a little trick, see if it's so highly glossed. It's walnut, beautiful wood. I mean, the gun's just aesthetically beautiful, but it's got some battle wounds on it. We're going to see what we can do to get these things cleaned up a little bit while I'm going through. Very accurate, very easy to shoot. It's one of those natural pointers. You just put it up there and it's on target. Sights flip up and down. It is tapped for a scope. It's got a gold dot for the front sight, dovetailed in. Bottom eject, which a lot of people like, because you don't, have it throwing 22 shells, casings all over the place. Let me go over some information on it. We'll do that part. Like I said, it was started from 1914 to present, so over 100 years old. Remington made a copy of it under license. They sold it as a Model 24 and the Model 241. Norinco makes a copy of it. On it, we're going to get into that about how you never grab it by the stock. You always grab it by the receiver when you're doing the takedown on it. But it's a really, really fine machine. It feels good. Going to do trigger pull on it. It's got a real light trigger on it. I think that's one reason it shoots so well. Barrel length is 19 3/8 inches. It's got a 37-inch overall length. The length of pull is 13 3/4 inches. Weighs 5 pounds 3 ounces. Now, with it feeding into the through the stock here in a long rifle, which this one is, it's either, I've seen 10 and 11 rounds. I usually just count in 10 and I don't really try to force it. It's been a long time really since I shot this, since I took it to the range the other day to go ahead and do the shooting segment, because I knew I was going to do the review on it. And I kept thinking this thing held 12. But like I said, I haven't forced it and hadn't counted, so I just loaded 10. But they also make a 22 short model. I'm not sure how many it holds. Sight radius on it is 16 1/4 inches. The twist rate is 1 16 inch. It's supposed to be real well balanced to where you can just put your finger right here and it'll just lay straight on it. I'm not going to do that, but I think there's a grade 1, 2, and 3. This is a grade 1, or the most basic one. Black walnuts, wood. Of course, it's steel. It's blued. Chamber's polished. And let's see what else. That's about it. That's just the big things. Of course, you can see all the checkering here and here and here. and it's a beautiful gun. It's really sweet shooter. A lot of people say, "Oh, it's a great survival weapon" just because it's a a takedown. Yeah, you can do a lot worse, that's for sure. But just due to magazine capacities and everything, I kind of like the 10-22 just because of my 50 round mags I've got, teardrop and rotary. Okay, we're gonna check the trigger pull on the Browning SA-22 22 long rifle. Being a rimfire, this is where I really do like to make sure I've got a snap cap in place. So let's put a snap cap in it. All right. £2, 8.4 ounces. £2, 12. £2, 11 ounces. £2, 11 ounces. £2, 12.3 ounces. So you can figure that it's about 2 pounds, a little over 2.5 pounds, 2 3/4 pounds basically, trigger pull. So that's very light trigger pull, which helps in shooting this gun, makes it more accurate. All right, let's go get it tore down. And we want to focus in on this area right here. There's actually a little button here. I don't know if, let's see if you can see it there. For the takedown, we're going to need to slide that forward. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to slide it forward. Then also wanted to point out this notch right here in the stock. There is a tab on here that this clears on. So those are the two major things you need to be aware of is this sliding block and the tab. So let's go ahead and tear it down. So the first thing you want to do is you slide the tab into the forearm, as you can see there. Then you want to pull the bolt back, and you only need to pull it back about that far. So what we're going to do, we're going to pull the bolt back, and let's make sure I'm in camera, and then you turn it a quarter of a turn. So let go, then the barrel comes right out. It's cut out. You can see that's where the notch was from the side that I was telling you, and it's cut out right there. That's very important in assembly and disassembly. Now, as you can see here, let me get it up. That notch right there is what goes in that wood cutout I was just telling you about. And I think one of the biggest problems, especially with the Norinco copy, is people try to twist it the wrong way and they end up cracking the wooden stock up here. But you know my rules on firearms. If you've got to force it, you're doing something wrong, stop, look at it, stop, set it down, look at it again, do it right, because it doesn't take a lot of force to make this happen. You just got to know what you're doing, and the notch, the cutout, the tab, and pulling the bolt back slightly is the key. And it's simple. It's not difficult to do, not at all. So the next thing we want to do is we want to remove the bolt in the trigger assembly. Now, the easiest way to do this is you pull the bolt back. Make sure I'm on camera for this here. Let me back it out just to here. Okay, so what I do, got it, my hand here, got it here. I'm pulling the bolt back, then I'm going to take my thumb here and I'm going to push it in that direction. Watch here, she's going to slide forward. See that? And it keeps coming up, and then you're going to see right there, I hope you can see it right there. Let me turn some angles. This rail here all of a sudden tapers off and gets smooth. That's so that you can lift it up. And what I mean by up is back. You lift it up, back away from the receiver. So now you can see that she's out. And you just lift up the back and she comes right. See the spring and then that long probe there looks like it has a bullet head on it. That is from the magazine that forces it through. So you load it through the stock hole here. You can see down in that. And you've got this in the stock. You roll it back out. So when you're out in the field and you're loading it, you pull this out, you tilt it down, you just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Push this back forward, stick it in, turn it a quarter of a turn, that's it. And she forces them down in here. But you take these two screws off, takes a butt plate off. This will take the stock off of the receiver. I remember he spent several $100s on it, and that was in the 70s, early 70s. It's probably 72, 3, something like that. And it was kind of funny because he did the old Christmas Story routine on me, and that was before Christmas Story ever came out. I really didn't get a lot of stuff for Christmas, and so I'm getting older, and so I was a little bummed, but I'm just sitting there kind of, yeah, okay, it was, and he's like, wait a minute, there's something else over there. He did almost, it was so funny when I saw the movie A Christmas Story, when he got his Red Ryder Daisy BB gun, it really hit home with me, and I love that movie for a lot of reasons, but that's one of them. He had it stashed over on the side away from the tree, and boom, it was this gun wrapped up. It was very fun. Okay, we've got the trigger and the bolt and everything out. We're going to take it apart, but I wanted to show you what happens really with the firing pin and how it actually all works. Right here, I wanted to show you this little lever right here. Now, I'm not going to use firearms terminology. I'm just going to show you, because you don't need it on this. It's very simple. But I wanted to show you that lever here. Now, pay attention to this shaft, this spring, this shaft, and this lever. I'm going to cock it. So we slide the bolt all the way back. Let go. Now, you can see the firing pin. This is actually the firing pin. It's just a different kind of design, and I'll show you how this big old thing is a little 22 firing pin. But if you'll see that lever I was pointing out has attached itself to the bottom here. So she's back. She's back, ready to fire, ready to go if it was all in the gun. So what we're going to do here is very carefully support this so you don't slam it forward. Just try to easily let the tension off of it. Okay. Alright, so a couple different ways to do it. You can put the bolt back, then bring her up forward, and just move it straight out. Okay, that's one way to do it. Now, other ways is to move one at a time and do it that way. I've done them both ways so many times, I tend to just pull the bolt up. You may notice a slight kink here in this. I think I did that to this spring when I was a kid, trying to put this back together. And it's really surprising because really the longer one, which is more prone to do this number, you would think would be the one that kinks. But doesn't affect anything. This is the firing pin. There's your trigger, and that's that's the lever we were talking about. Safety and everything. Now, if I wanted to pull the trigger out and get all this out, then I would knock this pin out and it would all come apart. Be careful. If you're doing something like this and you're not sure how everything comes apart, or you're not sure if there's springs or anything, put it inside a plastic bag and do it, because then if a spring shoots out, it's in the bag and the gun's not down and you're not lost. I'm not going to take that apart, but I do tend to do, if I'm not 100% sure, or if it's a tricky kind of breakdown sometimes, I'll do it inside the bag, because I've lost a spring before, and it just sucks, because it's inexpensive, but it's expensive for what you have to order and buy, and then you have to wait because the gun's down. All right. This is the firing pin. Okay. She comes straight out of this hole, and it only goes one way. So it fits in there like that, and then falls out. So the firing pin itself has the flat angle, and right here where this lever catches, and then the actual firing pin that I was pointing at that protrudes through right here, that comes out the end of the bolt. All right, we're back. Let's put it back together. I did a quick clean on it because we're taking the young ones up to the range, and I wanted to take this rifle for them to shoot, because it is a really good one to shoot as a, like a first automatic. All right, so basically you take the bolt, take the firing pin. There's only one way it'll go in. Firing pin up in this orientation, where this is the bottom and this is the top, and then the flat spot on the bottom. So she's only going to go in one way, so you can't mess that up. And that pops down in there flush. Okay. The smaller pin and spring goes into the firing pin. So just set it in there like that. And then the long one is the only really little booger one with a little hook on it, and it attaches to the side. So the firing pin spring will go right into this hole. Get some direct light here. Into this hole right here. Make sure you can see that. But right there. Then this one is going to catch on this latch right here, this tab. She just fits on it just like that. And it is, several ways. You can put it on either way, it doesn't matter. It just sits on there. So usually what I'll try to do is get the spring down and then start squishing it up on the shaft to keep it from, boinging left or right. Okay, we've got her in the vise here, and I think that may make it a little bit easier for me to try to feed that down on. So I'm going to try something a little bit different here. Okay, well, we're better. Hope you're able to see that very well. Basically, I just grabbed these curves on this part and just help give me some stability. You just work the spring down in here and up on the shaft at the same time, put it down and set it into place. And boom, we're in place. So let's test cock it here. And we see that the firing pin's being collapsed there. So let's release the pressure off of it. There we go. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in like this, get it back basically into position. And what I'm going to have to do is pull the bolt back this way. So this bolt will clear the housing in here. I have to slide it forward so that these two will line up and it'll all slide back towards the stock in the final assembly. So I'm pull it down, push it forward, now line it up, pull it all back. There we go. And just remember, you've got your tab. You've got your tab right here, and then you've got your slot in the wood. Just double check yourself and make it work if you get confused about any orientation. But it's pretty simple. Come on, get in there. There we go. All right, you pull it up and you lock her into place, and that's it. Well, I've got to put the rod back in, which is real easy to do. You just put it in, slide it forward, turn, half twist, locks into place. And there she is. Let me get her down here. Tools. Browning SA-22. You may see it again. I may try to do some of the things to pull the stock back out a little bit and just touch it up. And it's got, it's got, like I said, it's got some battle wounds, but excellent rifle, sweet shooter. I'm gonna let the kids experience that today. All right, be safe. Finger off the trigger, be ready to fire. Always check the action whenever you pick up a weapon. Know where your muzzle's pointed at all times. Thanks, like and subscribe. Have a great day.